Russian planes, tanks, and missiles destroy homes, industrial infrastructure, and grain warehouses. According to the latest data, the Russians shot at 14 settlements in the Donetsk region. In the last 24 hours, 37 civilian buildings were destroyed, including 2 schools, grain warehouses, and a train station. 8 people were killed and 16 injured. Luhansk, Severodonetsk, and Popasna, the cities of the Luhansk region, are constantly under fire from the Russian troops. But not only they are the target of the aggressor. Yesterday, the Russians also attacked Kharkiv. At least 3 people died. Yesterday, late into evening, around 11 p.m., an enemy missile hit the cafe building. The facility was completely destroyed. In addition, the nearby supermarket building and the school library were also completely destroyed. Lifeguards are constantly working on site. As assessed by Independent, Russian troops have up to 40 times greater advantage in weapons. Nevertheless, Ukraine regained some territory in the Kherson region. The defense ministry said Russian forces had suffered losses in manpower and equipment. In total, since the beginning of the war, Russian troops have lost over 31,500 soldiers, almost 1,400 tanks, and 212 aircraft. One of the most serious global consequences of the Russian invasion of Ukraine is the risk of a severe food crisis. The Russians block millions of tons of grain in Black Sea harbors and are also destroying agricultural infrastructure, including warehouses.
When they shoot in agricultural enterprises and grain facilities and storages, they're trying to make the situation look like that is a catastrophe in agriculture and food sector of economics in the whole world. That's why they rolling in the news that it is bad, it is catastrophe, etc. Why? Because they saying, okay, we can let you go with the trade, but give us something instead.
In connection with the blocking and theft of Ukrainian grain, the authorities in Kiev demand that Russia be excluded from the FAO, the UN's Food and Agriculture Agency, for defying the main goal of the organization, which is to fight poverty and hunger in the world. The Russian fleet, not the British nor any other, has blocked the Ukrainian Black Sea ports in such a way that the world is now on the verge of a terrible food crisis. It is not only a price crisis. We cannot export our wheat, corn, seed oil, and other commodities that once played a stabilizing role in the global market. This means that unfortunately dozens of countries can experience a real food shortage. Millions of people could starve to death if the Black Sea blockade continues. It was not Western sanctions against Russia that caused prices to rise, as the Russians claim, but it was Russia's invasion of Ukraine that led to the global grain crisis. But not only the problem of hunger and malnutrition in the world, which is exacerbated by the war in Ukraine, is also occupied by diplomacy. In order to bring the war to an end, the international community must support the Ukrainian army in combat. The world media circulated the words of Chancellor Olaf Scholz, who during the meeting of the German government with the leaders of the Baltic states and Lithuania, that no other country supports Ukraine militarily like Germany. If Mr. Chancellor said so, he must think so. Apparently, he has the data to do so. I am appealing to help, and I believe that it is very important that this support from the international community be available. If Germany is really helping Ukraine on such a scale, I can only say that I, as a direct neighbor of Ukraine, am very grateful for it, because this support is really needed for Ukraine at the moment. Since the beginning of the war, Russia has fired more than 2,500 different missiles at Ukraine, mainly at civilian targets. Innocent people have been dying every day for 106 days. Ukraine will not be able to win the war without international support. At the same time, each subsequent day of the Russian invasion contributes to the deepening of the global food crisis.